Hi, I'm Margie Kernan. I'm your instructor for EdCI 546. This is the class that's called the School Library Media Specialist. And to get started, I'm making this little video to give you an overview of what it is that's going to be in the class. I'd like you to be able to put a face to who it is that your instructor is, and so I'll give you a little information about myself and what some of the class expectations are. First of all, I have been teaching for Montana State University online classes for about 10 years, and prior to that I taught online as well as on-site for what was then called Western Montana College. I did retire from the Helena School District, where I was a school library media specialist. I was at C.R. Anderson Middle School, but I also, during my time with the Helena School District, was at Helena High School, and I was in a variety of elementary schools. And I am enjoying teaching online without feeling like I'm kind of pulled in two different directions. So it's kind of a good change for me. So first of all, this class is the big picture. This class is the overview class. Those of you who are taking this class as a first class in the sequence, I think you'll find that it's fortunate because it gives you the big picture of what it is that a school library media specialist does. But if you're taking it out of sequence, you've had some other classes, that's okay. The information here is still good. This class deals with administration, and in some schools this class might be called administration. However, that term is a really narrow focus, and I think it's very limiting, because while we do cover administrative duties and responsibilities and those tasks which fall under administration, we do touch on other things so that when you come away from this class, you really, again, have a very global view of what it is that you will be expected to do and enjoy doing as a school library media specialist or a teacher librarian. And that brings me to another topic, and that is, why is this class called the School Library Media Specialist? Well, in Montana, our administrative rules state that schools of a certain size should have a library, and that library media services are provided to the students and the staff by a certified, licensed, and endorsed school library media specialist. And so because our administrative rules in Montana use that term, it makes good sense to have this class be called the School Library Media Specialist. But I'm sure that you have heard other terms. Teacher librarian is the term that is very currently in vogue. Most of the leaders in our profession prefer the term teacher librarian because it emphasizes the teaching role. And I think for people in education, it underscores the fact that to be a teacher librarian, a school library media specialist, you first must be able to be a teacher. I use this term, school library media specialist, teacher librarian, and school librarian pretty interchangeably in the class. The American Association of School Librarians, which is our national organization and is a branch of the American Library Association, has chosen to use the term school librarian, and they have retained that term, and actually that's the term that I pretty much prefer. I think if you ask someone outside of the field and you tell them what it is that you do, they'll say, oh, you're a school librarian. So anyway, I think being flexible with those terms is a good thing. We do have a lot to cover in this class, and so what I'm going to ask that you do is that, first of all, that you take a look at and print out the syllabus. The syllabus is going to give you the overview, it's going to give you the course description, it's going to give you the goals, and what the competencies and dispositions are that I hope you will be able to take with you when you have finished the class. The next thing that is real important to print out is what's called timetable and grading and assignments. This document is going to list what the assignments are, when we have the units, when they are due, and what the overarching assignments are. And there's information in there about what the expectations are in terms of completing each one of the units. There are 2 overarching assignments, and the first one is the big one. This is the one that's due at the very end of the class, and it's called the toolkit. We don't have a textbook for this class, and we do use an awful lot of articles, and we do have some chapters from some textbooks. But by creating a toolkit, you will be able to have some resources that you can take with you when you complete the class, that you'll be able hopefully to use when you enter your new job. And then we have what's called the Weebly project, and this is a real short little project that utilizes a Web 2.0 tool, the Weebly, and it's hoped that we will learn a little bit about each other and do a little sharing with this project. Okay? And then lastly, I'll just mention that each one of the units that's listed in course content has a document that's at the very top, and it gives the goals for that unit, and it gives kind of the overview of what it is that's covered in the unit. When you go to course content in the D2L structure, you will find that documents and videos and so on are listed, and they are pretty much listed in the order in which it is expected and encouraged that you will go ahead and read or view and so on. There are discussion boards that go along with each one of the units, and there is a Dropbox. And for each of the units, with the exception of the last unit, you are expected to provide a little bit of summary and a self-assessment of how it is you have felt that you've done with that unit. So I'm available for questions, and I'm eager to get to know you and to get started. So let's go ahead and start EdCI 546.